go to the converse of midpoint theorem. The statement states that if a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle and parallel to the other side, then it bisects the third side. Now the line under consideration is the line L. It is passing through the midpoint of side AB. The midpoint of side AB is D, so it is passing through this. It is parallel to the other side, so it is parallel to the side BC, and we have to prove that it bisects the third side, that is, it divides side AC into two equal parts. That means we have to prove that AE equal to EC, or this line L bisects the side AC. So when we write given, point D is the midpoint of segment AB. Then we have this line L passing through this point D, and it is parallel to the side, this side, that is BC, and intersects the side AC, that is, it meets this side AC in the point E. So we write here E. What are we to prove? That AE is equal to EC. So we write here AE equal to EC. Or we prove that this line L bisects the side AC. That is, it is dividing the side AC into two equal parts. AE and EC are the equal parts. So construction has to be done. What is the construction? Through point C, draw line CF parallel to side BD. So I write here BD. To intersect line L, at point F or at F, such that this point E lies between D and F. So I'll write D, E, F to show that the point E lies between D and F. Now going to the proof, we have here line CF is parallel to side, line CF, it is parallel to the side AB. So I write here AB. How do we know this? This is by construction. So you see here line CF is parallel to, where we have written parallel to side BD, or it is parallel to side AB, that is the same thing. So we write here given, and also that D lies between A and B. This point D lies between A and B. Now we said that these two lines are parallel to each other. Do you see that here this line AC is joining both these lines? So it forms the transversal. So I write line AC is the transversal. So if I have a pair of parallel lines and I have a transversal, I have two alternate angles or a pair of alternate angles. What are they? Angle BAC and angle ACF. So I write angle BAC is congruent to angle ACF, and the reason here, alternate angles. Now I can name these angles differently. Let us see. Angle BAC can be named as angle DAE. So I'll write here angle DAE. Also angle ACF can be named as angle ECF. So I write here angle ECF. What is the reason I can give here? Because the point E lies between A and C. The point E lies between A and C, and also the point D lies between A and B. The point D lies between A and B. And okay. Now, in quadrilateral DBCF, see here, DBCF, we are saying here side DF. Side DF is parallel. Here we said side DF is parallel to side BC. We write side DF is parallel to side BC. Now, how do we know it is parallel to side BC? Because that was given. See here, we said line L is passing through point D, is parallel to side BC, and this line L is nothing but DF. So therefore side DF parallel to side BC, we write here given. Now look at the other pair of sides in that quadrilateral. What is it? Side DB parallel to side CF. So I write side DB parallel to side CF, and that was by construction. Here see, line CF parallel to side BD. So I write here this is by construction. So if both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, what happens to this quadrilateral? This quadrilateral DBCF is a parallelogram. Now in a parallelogram, what happens? The opposite sides are not only parallel, they are also congruent. So now see here, segment DB congruent to segment CF. So I can write segment DB congruent to segment CF. Why? Because they are opposite sides of a parallelogram. Now already we had said here, we said that just now segment DB is congruent to segment CF. But here D was the midpoint of AB. So segment AD is already congruent to segment DB. So I can write here, but segment DB congruent to segment AD. What is the reason? Because D is the midpoint of segment AB, or that D is the midpoint of segment AB was already given. See here, in given we had said point D is the midpoint of segment AB. So if segment DB congruent to segment CF, segment DB congruent to segment AD. So from this, what do we get? Segment AD congruent to segment CF. Segment AD congruent to segment CF. Now we will consider these two triangles in triangle ADE and triangle CFE. Let us look at the two triangles in triangle ADE and triangle CFE. We are taking these two triangles. What happens? We already said this angle DAE is congruent to angle ECF by alternate angles, right? That we have already written here. See here, angle DAE congruent to angle ECF, that was from 1. So we will write down that first. Angle DAE is congruent to angle FCE. Also we have from 4 segment AD congruent to. Now 4 is here itself. What is segment AD congruent to segment CF? So I write here segment CF. Now I have one more pair of angles which are equal to each other, which are the vertically opposite angles. Let us look at the figure and name those angles. Which are those angles? Angle AED and angle CEF. angle AED and angle CEF. So we write angle AED is congruent to angle CEF because they are vertically opposite angles. Now if I have two pairs of angles which are congruent in two triangles, then the third pair of angles will definitely be congruent. So let us see which is that third pair of angles and name them. Look at the figure. We said this angle and this angle. Which is the angle which is left? Angle ADE. And here which is the angle? Angle EFC. Therefore, angle ADE is congruent to angle EFC. Angle ADE is congruent to angle EFC. How? Because this is the remaining pair of angles. In the two triangles. So now you see here, we have to show that these two triangles are congruent, but you will see I have written three pairs of angles and one pair of sides. Now why did I take this? Because for ASA I have to have two angles and the side included in between. So these were not the two pairs of angles which I required this one also. So I have written this pair. So now we'll look at the figure once again. We said that segment AD congruent to segment CF. Okay, then we took this angle DAE and angle ECF. So this is one angle, this is the side, and the third angle was this angle and this one. So it would be ASA. So the two triangles are congruent by the ASA test. So we write now, therefore triangle ADE congruent to triangle CFE by the ASA test. Now if they are congruent by the ASA test, we will have one pair of sides which are congruent to each other by CSCT. So let us see which pair of sides. Segment AE is one segment. So here if it is segment AE, the corresponding side in this triangle is segment CE. So we write segment AE congruent to segment CE. Segment AE congruent to segment CE. So if segment AE congruent to segment CE, we can write AE equal to CE. Let us look at those segments clearly now. Look at the figure. AE is equal to CE. So if AE is equal to CE, it is very clear to us that E is the midpoint of segment AC, and that is what we had to prove. That is AE equal to EC, or E is the midpoint of AC, or this line L bisects the side AC. So we complete the theorem. AE equal to CE, or line L bisects side AC.